What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Friday. It is June 21st, and right now it is 7:30 p.m. It is time for another episode of VR 365. Yeah, we're going to have a nighttime, kind of a late night hype kind of an episode this time. And you know what? The lead story of the day, of course, is the Vive Cosmos. Now, we were expecting a gigantic info dump today with all kinds of information, all kinds of specifications, an actual release date, a locked in stone price point, all the information. What kind of field of view does this thing have? What is the resolution? All of the details. We thought it was going to come today. Unfortunately, we were mistaken. Now, actually, if we go back in time and we think about it to yesterday, it doesn't make sense. Like, what company is going to have a major info dump on a Friday? Because people, if you have a major info dump on a Friday, I think it's just bad. It's a bad idea, because what happens is it gets lost in the shuffle. You know, everybody has to go this way or that way, and it's summertime. You know, a lot of people are going on little mini vacations over a couple of days. And so if you have a major story that hits on a Friday, it's going to kind of get buried. I think, honestly, the best day to do a major drop of news is either Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday's probably the best day, because you drop it on Tuesday, people are talking about it on Tuesday, they're still talking about it Wednesday and Thursday, and that's the best way to do it. Remember when we got the Valve Index announcement? It came on a Friday afternoon, and I mean, the biggest news ever, and it still survived over the weekend, but I thought that was kind of bizarre as well. But yeah, so we didn't get the major info dump that we were really hoping for. Now, what did we actually get? Well, we got a spectacular video that basically shows the Vive Cosmos spinning around on a table. Ah, man, this is it 720p? I should have adapted that. My bad. Yeah, so here it is. There it is, guys. This is the new Vive Cosmos, and it does look a little bit different. We're looking at it here. It does look a little bit different. And also, let's think about this, folks. HTC as a company spared no expense, man. They spared no expense. This is their most important consumer-based VR product ever, and somebody just reached their hands in real quick and turned it up. Yeah, that's the production value. You know, there is something called editing. You know, you could have edited that out. Like, you don't need to have that person's hands in there. I mean, look at how incredibly advanced this marketing is. This is pure marketing genius. A simple table that is just spinning around and around and around. The idea is, oh, and look at that. Quick adjustments as well. Oh, shit. Accidentally need to move that faceplate just a little bit. And so, yeah, this is the underneath robot edition. You can, of course, take that faceplate off, and it looks like we're returning to the world of the early days of the Xbox 360. Do you guys remember the really early days of the Xbox 360? Everybody would have their Xbox 360 standing up, vertical style, and you would get these faceplates that would go on the front of your Xbox 360, and they'd have faceplates for very specific games, or you could get custom faceplates, all kinds of crazy little whacked out things. And I guess that's what's going on here. We're going to have faceplates. Now, obviously, the biggest news that did come out today, almost nothing, but we did find out 6 cameras. So we now have 2 additional cameras. We got a camera up there on top. We got a camera on the bottom. I gotta say, all of this feels a little bit last minute. Like, what exactly is going on over there at HTC? Seriously, what is going on at HTC? Because I don't know that the leadership, whoever's running this department, I don't know, man. I don't know that you're doing the best job. Because here's the outside appearances. The outside appearances are that you are running this show by the seat of your pants. You're making it up as you go along. That's what it looks like from the outside. Now, I'm not saying that that's the actual case. Maybe this is an incredibly well-designed headset that is actually going to be the leader. Maybe this is the headset to beat, and we could have never imagined it. Maybe HTC strikes back, and it is going to be incredible. It is going to be next level. But as an outside observer that has been watching what HTC has done all year, I don't know if there's any other company out there that has left me scratching my head more than HTC. We go way back to January, way back to the Consumer Electronics Show, and Dan O'Brien was talking about this thing, and he was talking about how this is all about simplicity. They want it to be easy. They want it to be convenient for the consumer. They want to cut down on friction. So there's no tracking that you need. It's all inside-out tracking, and they're going for simplicity. They're going for more of a mass market, more to the wide-open sea of consumers. This is not their high-end headset. That's the HTC Vive Pro I guess, which that's kind of weird, but that's a whole other story. But that's what they were talking about back at the January CES. They were talking about how this headset is designed for a wide open consumer base. And then we got rumors of the price and all this other stuff. So why don't we go ahead and get into it? Let's start things off. I mean, the only information we got from HTC is that the info dump that we're looking for is actually next week. So that was kind of a dud. And basically we found out about the 2 extra cameras. And if you're looking really close here, the audio solution does kind of look like the deluxe audio strap in terms of little headphones that are connected. We see the Halo design. We see the 6 cameras. And that cable there, that cable appears to be proprietary. It appears to be a proprietary cable that is going to go to a link box, which I guess I'm okay with that. Although the thing that sucks about a proprietary cable like that is if like you've got dogs, you've got cats, I'm not sure how that cable actually connects to the headset, but if you can't get at the connection for that cable and your cat or your dog or somehow the cable gets jacked up, you are going to be boned like none other, because let's be honest, folks, HTC, do they stick it to us? Holy moly, rickatoli, they stick it to us like none other. Okay, let's see what some people are talking about in chat. We're going to go to the rumors. We're going to go to some MRTV speculation here in just a second. But before we get to that, let's take a look at some of the folks talking in chat. Okay, Oliver Cook says, it's so awful, like something out of those TV ads. Dude, I don't know that I've ever seen a TV ad that would be this amateur hour. Like HTC, again, bro, seriously, there are people that will make a fancy video for you for like a couple $100. A couple $100, somebody will make a really fancy video. But no, what do? They get a table that spins, they put a thing up there, they just set a camera in one spot, they have somebody quickly alter stuff, and I guess they speed that up. And yeah, they sped that up, and I don't get it. I don't get it. It is crazy to me. Let's see here. What else people are talking about? Ben Stanley says it will be sub $900. Okay, we'll get into that in just a little bit. James McLaughlin says screen door effect on the outside now. Yeah, what do you guys think about this whole grill thing? Like, it's like a speaker kind of a grill thing. A lot of holes. Don't really know what's going on there. Not sure I really like the look, the outer looks of this thing. They throw a camera on top. They throw a camera on bottom. I wonder, like, the cameras where they're angled, it almost looks like it's looking too far up and it's looking too far down. Like, I wonder what kind of angle these cameras are going to get. Again, that's all going to be part of the info dump, because even the Rift S with all the cameras that it still has a few blind spots. And the Rift S, at least the cameras are probably situated in a pretty good spot. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's wait for next week. We can make all those decisions when we get to that next week. But why don't we go to a quick little video from MRTV. MRTV had some rumors that have happened today, supposedly some inside sources. Let's go ahead and check these video clips out and let's see what's going on. So this first clip I have for you is pretty short. I'll probably go ahead and run this clip twice, or we'll see. Let's see what happens here.
Those of you who follow me on Twitter, it's not a surprise because I have talked about this already yesterday. Now, how could I talk about this yesterday already? Well, I received rumors from a trusted industry insider, and in these rumors I learned about these 6 cameras instead of 4, but I also learned about the price and about the availability of the Vive Cosmos. And yesterday I did not want to talk about these because I was not sure if these rumors are actually true. But now, with Vive confirming that the Vive Cosmos is going to have 6 instead of 4 cameras, I believe the price and availability rumors are true as well. But for those of you who follow me on Twitter, it's not a surprise because I have talked about this already yesterday. Now, how could I talk about this yesterday already? Well, I received rumors from a trusted industry insider, and in these rumors I learned about these 6 cameras instead of 4, but I also learned about the price and about the availability of the Vive Cosmos. And yesterday I did not want to talk about these because I was not sure if these rumors are actually true. But now, with Vive confirming that the Vive Cosmos is going to have 6 instead of 4 cameras, I believe the price and availability rumors are true as well. But for those of you who follow me on Twitter...
Okay, yeah, so that was the very beginning of his video. And so basically here, in starting out his video, one of the things he's saying is that he got some information yesterday or a couple of days ago. He got some rumors about 6 cameras, about when the thing is going to be available and how much it's going to cost. Okay, so he has a trusted insider, and he's saying at first he wasn't sure if he was going to believe these rumors. He wasn't sure if he was going to buy into it, but now that he sees that the 6 cameras is legit, he's like, oh, this kind of checks out. The 6 cameras are legit, so the price and the release window, that has to be legit as well. And so then a little bit later in his episode, he has another video where he breaks it down as well. And let me go ahead and grab that one. And this one's really short. This is only like 15 seconds.
Rumors, and still take it with a grain of salt. The HTC Vive Cosmos is going to retail for $899. Wow. And it's going to be available starting from August for pre-order, and the devices are going to be sent out end of August. According to these rumors, and still take it with a grain of salt, the HTC Vive Cosmos is going to retail for $899. Wow. And it's going to be available starting from August for pre-order, and the devices are going to be sent out end of August.
Okay, so that is the information. So basically he's saying $899 US, and it is coming in late August. Now, Sebastian has kind of elaborated on this a little bit, and he said that it's actually 900 euros. It's 900 euros in Europe. It is going to cost 900 euros, but the price here in America is likely to be closer to around $800. So it appears somewhere between $700 and $900, although Road to VR has some information about this. So why don't we go ahead and go to Road to VR and let's check this out. So Road to VR has this story right here. HTC strikes down Vive Cosmos price rumor, confirms a sub $900 price point. YouTube channel MRTV today reported an expected price of $900 for the upcoming Vive Cosmos headset, citing a trusted industry insider. Responding to the rumor, HTC tells Road to VR that the price is incorrect and high. It is on the high side. And that's basically it. That's all we got with this story. Well, there's one other quote here. They say, "We appreciate the speculation on Cosmos's price and functionality. What was reported today is incorrect and high. We're just getting started on what we've built with Cosmos and believe we're delivering a product with great value, functionality, and the ability to grow with you over time," a spokesperson told Road to VR. And for Sebastian's sake, he's got to love this. To be getting pub like this, Sebastian has to love this. This isn't the first time Sebastian has been mentioned in a couple of different stories on some of these different websites. And that's got to be pretty cool. So I give it to Sebastian for that. Now, here's the thing. One of the things I've heard some people speculating out there in regards to MRTV and these rumors, some people believe that this is just pure and total fabrication by Sebastian. He's just making this up 100% to try to get clicks, to try to get hype, making up some trusted industry source. Now, I'll say that's a possibility. That is a possibility, but I'm going to give Sebastian the benefit of the doubt. And the reason I'm going to give Sebastian the benefit of the doubt is because there was one time where a major announcement of something was about to happen. And I talked to Sebastian off the air privately before the announcement happened. And he told me what was going to be announced. And I didn't know if I should believe him or not, but the next day, exactly what happened is what he told me. It exactly happened. So he has had an inside source before, or he's had a very good guess before, because he told me some breaking information a day before it happened. I didn't tell anybody. I kept it 100%. I didn't tell a single person about it. I don't spread stuff like that. If somebody tells me something in confidence, I'm not going to go ahead and spread that information. But he was 100% on the money. So this is possibly legit. Maybe it is 900 euros. So maybe both of them are right. Because maybe Sebastian is like, well, it's actually 900 euros, not 900 US dollars. And the US dollar price is going to be lower. It's going to be closer to 800. And then, of course, the thing about mid to late August, I believe, is when this thing is going to arrive. And that's not very surprising either, especially when you look at their quote here, where they said, quote, "We're just getting started. We're just getting started on what we've built with Cosmos." So they're just getting started. It sounds like this is a long, drawn-out process that is going on right now. And I can't believe it. If we go back to the January CES, in fact, let me do a quick little Google search here, because if we go back to the January, like what was Dan O'Brien and all of them saying way back, let's see, CES 2019 Vive Cosmos. Let's see if we can find like a story from way back then. Okay, let's see. VR Scout, Upload VR. Okay, so this is January 9th, 2019. Let's go back to this story. This is a long time ago, guys. This happened a long time ago, and we really still, to this very day, know very little. The only thing we know, in addition to what we knew back then, is that there's 2 extra cameras. And there's a proprietary cable. Do we know anything else? I don't think we know anything else. So, the Vive Pro Eye, of course, Viveport Infinity, Vive Reality System, Vive Cosmos. And it says the company will reveal more details later this year. but we expect this means it could be powered by an HTC smartphone. But, if you go back to when they did this, and you go back to the part where he's talking about Vive Cosmos, Dan O'Brien, they were talking about one of the biggest things they were interested in with this headset is simplicity and kind of more of a mass market kind of product. And like the Vive Pro I is more for the hardcore enthusiast. And this was more for the wide open market, which seems like it would be a little bit more targeted, similar to the Rift S, but probably a bit more pricey. But I don't know. It's looking like possibly $800, possibly $900. We're obviously going to find out more information next week. Let's see what some folks are talking about here in chat. Let's see. Lefty007 says, just as reliable as an insider. Oh, Nostradamus Jr. is just as reliable as an insider. I'm going to tell you, MRTV might have a legitimate insider. He might. And then Gaming Science Teacher says, wait a minute. Wasn't this the same guy that said Stormland was releasing day and date with the Rift S? Yeah, he did. Yes, he did say that. And he was wrong with that. And apparently he talked to a guy at Oculus that said that. But it could have been one of these guys wearing an Oculus shirt that didn't really work for Oculus, although he thought it was a product manager, actually. And Kevin says MRTV is the real Nostradamus. Well, MRTV does have an insider. I don't know if we can say that that's Nostradamus-like, but he has known information in the past, because I can tell you firsthand that he had information in the past. So he's had insiders before. Slayblaze says that front faceplate looks a bit funky, but don't you want to change your faceplate, brah? All different kinds of faceplates, glow-in-the-dark faceplates, clear faceplates, white ones, red ones, blue ones, yellow ones, all kinds of multicolored faceplates. Faceplates that say like super hot on it, or Nostos, or your favorite game is on the faceplate. It could happen. It could possibly happen. Let's see. Dather1 says it boils down to, do you want external lighthouses, Valve, or now inside-out tracking, Cosmos? And James McLofton says, honestly, who is buying this over the index if you're in the 1K territory? Yeah, and well, even if you're in the $800 territory, if you're in the $800 territory, who's buying this over the Vive Cosmos? And I'm not exactly sure, because you could just pay a little bit extra and you can jump up to the Valve index. I mean, the big advantage here, of course, with the Vive Cosmos, the big advantage is we're expecting 2160 by 2160. And unfortunately, the existing 2160 by 2160 headsets seem to have issues. Well, really, we only have one of them right now. We have the HP Reverb. It seems to be having a lot of weird issues. So I have not ordered an HP Reverb. Let me give you guys a quick little update on my personal situation in regards to headsets. I'm in the market, man. I was in the market. In fact, you know what? One of the things I thought is, let me wait and get this information about the Vive Cosmos before I make any decision. Let me wait. Let me get the information. And I thought I was waiting for this week. And I thought I was going to get the information for this week. Now we got to wait another week. That kind of sucks, but oh well. We're finally going to get the information. We're going to get the exact price. We're going to get the availability. It might be an availability window. We might not get an actual locked in stone release date. It might be like late August, early September, whatever they come out with. We're going to find out about that. We're going to find out about what kind of smartphone you're going to need to have to use this in that special wireless tethered mode with the smartphone. Although, how does it get power? That's the question I have. How does it get power? How does the headset get power if it's wireless with a little smartphone that has a Snapdragon 855? I don't know if that's going to work. Obviously, the controllers seem to be a big advantage possibly over Windows Mixed Reality. That is the big advantage this thing has with that 2160 screens, those 2160 by 2160 screens that are in there. That's the big advantage that this thing has. But, Valve Cosmos, Cosmos. The Valve Index is going to be arriving almost the same time when all this information drops. Gee, I wonder if the timing is a coinky-dink. Maybe they're going to time it like exactly when people start getting their pre-orders, because people are going to start getting Valve Indexes in the very near future. Regular individual people. It has begun. It has started. And the question is there anything about this that will sway somebody away from the Valve Index? And in terms of price, my original prediction, $699.99, which I know that was a bit aggressive and hopeful. But the reason I predicted $699 way back then, I predicted it because of what they were saying at the January CES, where they were saying this is like, we want it to be available for like new people and friction, not a lot of friction, and we want it to be easy. VR's got to get easier. It's got to get better. That's what they were talking about back at the January CES. And that goes more with a more mass market kind of a price. And so I was thinking $699. It might be $799. But that is the rumors that is going out there. It is all about the Vive Cosmos right about now, although we really don't have any legitimate information to go on. It's good news that the 2 extra cameras are good news, but does anybody feel like it's almost like super last minute, these 2 extra cameras, like they're being thrown in at the very last minute, which doesn't instill a lot of confidence in HTC in the first place, especially the freaking trailer that they just had. I mean, come on. The old CES news conference that they had. It's like they hold a news conference in a little Burger King bathroom or something. Like, HTC is not spending money on anything. Like, hire some people to make some trailers and have a little bit of a better news conference, in my opinion. Like, fake it until you make it, at least. Kind of fake it a little bit. But let's go to the second story of the day. And the second story of the day, and this is almost as shocking, and that is Defector. We've got a release date for Defector. We're excited about this. However, one of the realities that we're looking at, the price. The price is very unusual. But let's go ahead and start with the good news. Defector is arriving on July 11th. So we heard that Defector was coming this summer. We weren't sure exactly when it might come this summer. I mean, summer goes all the way into September, so this is good news. This is not far away at all. Do you guys understand that we just got Vader Immortal? We just got Face Your Fears 2. We just got Journey of the Gods. All of this stuff hit the Oculus Rift. So we've had some recent releases. We're getting Rogan very, very soon. Rogan, the Thief in the Castle, which looks really good. And we're going to get Defector, like right after that, bam. And then not too far after that, Wolfenstein. There's a lot of games that are going to start coming out. It is going to get hot and heavy, and Defector is throwing its hat into the ring. And let me see what it says here. It says, step inside a larger-than-life spy caper full of intrigue, adventure, and danger. At every turn, you're an elite undercover operative on an international mission to track down the missing components of an elusive doomsday device. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a spy thriller, Action Jackson, Michael Bay kind of an experience, James Bond, all of these kinds of things. I mean, that's what Mission Impossible, it's kind of one of these kinds of deals, right? This is what we've expected all along. And of course, when Blood and Truth came out on PlayStation VR, kind of threw a monkey wrench into the scenario because they kind of jumped the gun and grabbed that whole spy vibe there for a minute. But the biggest shocker, man, for me is the price. $20? $20. When I first found out that it was $20, I immediately I assumed, oh my God, this is going to be like a 2-hour thing. It's going to be a 2-hour thing. It's only $20, only $20. But apparently, like if you go to the Discord server for Twisted Pixel, they're saying no, it is about a 4 to 5 hour experience. Defector is about a 4 to 5 hour campaign. But the $20 price does not seem logical to me. Something does not compute. I don't understand exactly what is going on here. It looks beautiful, and if we go back to Twisted Pixel, let's remember this developer, guys. This developer is pretty legit. They brought out Wilson's Heart. It was a black and white game. It had node-based teleportation. It was made way back in the early days of the Oculus Rift. So when Twisted Pixel was designing the game, they had one hand tied behind their back, because when they were making Twisted Pixel, it was before touch. Like, I think part of the idea was, let's make this work even if people don't have touch. They could play Wilson's Heart with the regular Xbox controller. And so I think their whole vision was kind of compromised back at that time. Now, of course, when they're making Defector, they've been let out of jail. Now they've got 360, they've got room scale, so they can do a proper kind of a thing here. But the other thing we've got to consider is, I'm starting to wonder, now this is pure speculation on my part, and I am just throwing a fart into the wind basically with this speculation, but there's a part of me that wonders if this game is somehow in some kind of development hell, and it's been in some kind of development hell for a while. Like, this has been a troubled development. Now, look, I mean, I have no freaking idea. Why am I saying that? You know, slap me. Why should I say that? That's like the Nostradamus thing. That's like my psychic prediction thing, because the $20 price doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I was talking with Lethal Weasel, one of the hosts of Virtual Strangers. Lethal Weasel VR, one of the hosts of Virtual Strangers, Wes. And we were talking in the Discord server, the VR365 Discord server, and that's why it's a great idea, guys. If you've never been over to our Discord server, there is a free invite. It is in the show notes. Check that out. Hop over to our Discord server. Come on down. You can engage in conversations with everybody in our little community. We're pretty friendly. It works out really nice over there, right? So I was having a conversation just today reacting to this $20 price, and Lethal Weasel, he was basically saying, nah, man, you got it all wrong. You're worried that, like, this is going to be a disaster because it's only $20. But what he's saying is, look, they want to make this more mainstream. They want to price it low so everybody can get it, and they're trying to make it a little bit more mainstream. And I don't know, man, it's so hard for me because I can't really agree with that. I got to disagree with my guy Wes. And I disagree with him because look at Journey of the Gods. Journey of the Gods is $30 on the Rift. Defector is $20 on the Rift. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't think Oculus is like, oh yeah, we're going to be consumer friendly and we're going to start pricing these games lower. I think the reason they're pricing it for 20, like this is a doomsday, this is total doomsday scenario. This is worst case scenario, Anthony, okay? This is worst case scenario, Anthony. But my theory is this game has had a troubled development. It's never really worked perfectly right. And Oculus is just like, F it, ship the goddamn game. We're going to put it for $20, ship it. We're going to move on with our lives. I mean, because that's the only logical conclusion I can make for the $20 price, because it's supposedly 4 to 5 hours. Now, if I heard this game was 2 hours, I'd be like, okay, I get the price, $20, 2 hours, I get it. But if the game is 4 to 5 hours and it's $20, something does not compute. Something does not add up. I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope this is like the best VR game we've ever had in our entire lives. I hope this is the most amazing 4 to 5 hour campaign you've ever had. I hope it is a complete and utter game changer. And it is simply a case of Oculus just being unbelievably consumer friendly, because we know that that's their MO. With a lot of things. We've seen that that's their MO, right? Okay, so anyway, that's my thought on Defector. Let's see what some folks are talking about over here in chat. Slayblaze says, I want a $59.99 AAA masterpiece. And then it scrolled too fast and I didn't get to see the rest of what he said. I want a $59.99 full AAA PC VR masterpiece with 9+ hours of gameplay. Will we ever see one? And you know what, Slay Blaze, I think what you're talking about here too is you're not talking about a port. You're talking about a full, legit, major VR game that is built from the ground up by a freaking ridiculously AAA developer. I know what you're talking about. You're not talking about Skyrim. You're not talking about Fallout 4 VR. You're talking about a game that was built for VR with a really talented developer and a long 9-hour game. And we haven't seen that yet. Stormland and like Asgard's Wrath is going to be pretty freaking close to that, I'd have to say. Lone Echo's pretty freaking close to that, I would say, right? I mean, Arctica 1 isn't 9 hours, but it's pretty freaking AAA from a graphical standpoint. But yeah, I understand what you're saying here. Okay, Lefty007 says, maybe their budget suddenly got cut. Their budget is from Oculus. It's an Oculus-funded game. That's why would they, I don't know. Something weird. It's got to be something weird. I mean, let's hope for the best here. Let's hope for the best. Lee Tobin says, hopefully Blunt Force will be longer. You know, Blunt Force looks incredible, but we haven't heard anything about that game in a very long time. And Brandon says, more volume sold at $20. Yeah, because they do that all the time. I mean, okay, I get it, sure, but then why don't they do that with like Journey of the Gods? And why don't they do that with like Dance Central? And why don't they, like, all these, like, Sport Scramble is $30. If they really want to be so consumer friendly, why is Sport Scramble $30? Like, why is Oculus all of a sudden being altruistic with the price of Defector? I don't know that adds up. Brandon says, Vader Immortal almost had to launch at $10 with less than an hour campaign. Oliver Cook says, how long is Stormlands? I don't know that we know how long Stormlands is, but I don't think it's like a 4 or 5 hour thing. I think it's probably at least a good 6-7 hours, but I'm talking right out of my ass, so I have no idea. I know Asgard's Wrath is about 30 hours, and you can take up to 50 if you're like going through all the back alleys and trying to find every little thing that's out there. But anyway, we have a few other minor news stories to go to. So why don't we go ahead, and I want to actually talk about Vader Immortal because somebody brought up Vader Immortal, and I played Vader Immortal a little bit earlier today. So let me grab that little Vader Immortal comparison video. So here's the thing. I was going to do an episode earlier today at about 3 p.m., but I had a banging headache. Headache was just killing me pretty bad. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a nighttime episode because hopefully my headache will have pretty much faded away. But eventually I decided, you know what, I should jump into this, check this out before the show. Maybe I could talk about this a little bit. So I went ahead and I deleted a ton of crap off my hard drive. That was one of the problems I was dealing with. All my hard drives that I had, they were all starting to overflow with stuff. And so I went into Steam and I went into Oculus and I found stuff that was like 10, 11, 12 gigs that I wasn't going to play anytime soon or probably wasn't ever going to play ever again. Deleted a bunch of that crap. Got some more room. I need to buy another hard drive is what I really need to do. But I went ahead and downloaded this baby. I also downloaded Journey of the Gods on the Rift version. Haven't played that one yet. But I did play this, and I didn't play it all the way through, but I played it for most of the entire experience. And you know what? It definitely does look better. I mean, we see the comparison video right here, especially like you're grabbing that helmet, the texture of that like little sofa thing that the helmet was sitting on, all of that looks better. The black sky looks blacker. It all looked a lot better. It was more enhanced. It felt better. However, I do have some complaints about this thing. And my number one complaint, man, this should be the ultimate demo material for anybody. Like, think about this. This should be the ultimate demo material if somebody has never tried VR. Like, just showing them that part where freaking Vader comes and walks over to you. It should be the ultimate demo material. But one of the problems I have with this thing is as I was playing it, there were so many times where I was sticking my head in a certain place and a message was popping up and it was like, go back to the center of your play space. It kept giving me these messages about like, get back to your center of your play space. I was standing in the middle of this big ass area And I was in the middle of my play space, and I kept getting these. It was really irritating, because if you clip with any geometry at all, and it's just really immersion breaking. There were a number of little weird glitches and little quick little stutters and things that I noticed throughout it that just kind of screwed up the experience a little bit. But it was still very good. It was very impressive. And one of the things I can speak to, I mentioned this, I don't know if it was yesterday or a couple of days ago when we were first talking about this comparison video. And one of the things that I was wondering is on the Oculus Quest, you're standing on a ledge at one point, and Mustafar, the planet, is this lava planet, and it's got lava streams and lava rivers, and you're standing on the outside and you're looking down. And if you do that sequence on the Oculus Quest, and if you look down at those rivers, the rivers are static. They're not doing anything. There's no movement. There's no bubbling, nothing. And that's kind of disappointing, and it's kind of a buzzkill. And I made sure to look closely at that when I was doing this. And you know what? Not all of the rivers were moving, but the main lava river that is closest to you, it was bubbling and it was moving. And I was impressed by that. Also, I've mentioned in the past as well that as you're going through this experience, you will see stormtroopers that are off in the background. And you're not really meant to look at the stormtroopers so much, but they're kind of off in the distance. And if you happen to pay attention to them on the Quest, and you're really looking at those stormtroopers that you're not really supposed to be looking at, they look pretty craptacular on the Oculus Quest. It really reveals that's where the smoke and mirrors don't work so well. And on this, the stormtroopers looked way better in those exact same spots. The stormtroopers looked considerably better. So this is not just a quickie port that they just threw together, but I really wish somebody would get with LucasArts and say, you know what, give us the option to disable the message that pops up, because, oh man, I was having tracking problems. I was having lots of weird little anomalies with this thing. And then I'm not sure if they have it as an option, but what they really need is they need to allow you to have demo modes for this. Specific demo modes where you can do a specific sequence. So if somebody is coming over to your house and you want to put them in the Vader interrogation sequence, you can just put them right into that. And they don't have to go through a 45-minute thing to see that one little part. But it's absolutely worth playing. Anybody that has it on a Quest, if you also have a Rift, you definitely should fire this up, give it a try. You got it free from Cross-Buy anyway. And if you're an Oculus Rift owner that doesn't have an Oculus Quest, this is absolutely worth $10. It's the best Star Wars. This is the best Star Wars thing we got in VR, period. Across any platform, any system, this is the best VR thing that has Star Wars in it, period. And for that reason alone, it is worth $10 just on the strength of that, all by its lonesome, not considering anything else whatsoever. The freaking lightsaber, man, I still love it. Turning on the lightsaber, hearing that noise, turning off the lightsaber and hearing that noise. And I'm talking about not just turning it off and listening for 1 second. I'm talking about turning on your lightsaber. It takes 3 or 4 seconds to hear the turn on noise. It's like an extended thing. And it's the same thing with turning it off. It's zzz, it has a build up to it. And appreciate that noise, man. That is freaking Lucasfilm sound or whatever they're doing there. And it works great. And you could just take your lightsaber and you could just, I was just going like this, just in the air, kind of just moving it around really fast because I just wanted to hear the, vroom, 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 the sound aspect of it. And the sound was just dialed in so well. So absolutely worth experiencing, guys. No matter what system you're on, you should definitely try it. A lot of little irritants, though. I really wish the irritants would be patched up. But anyway, that is Vader Immortal. Did get a try of that. Okay, so there was a brand new game. I think this was announced today. I haven't heard of it prior. We don't have a Mario Kart game in VR right now. I think if you were to try to find a Mario Kart game, there is a game called VR Karts, I believe. And I think it's actually on the Oculus Quest. I think it's on PlayStation VR. I think it might be on PC VR. We also have Sprint Vector, which some people have said Sprint Vector is kind of like Mario Kart. Of course, there's that Mario Kart arcade experience that is available at a handful of arcades around the world. I think MameFan actually tried that out, right? And I think one of those arcades is coming to the LA area. And, different people have done videos of that. But it looks like we're going to get a Mario Kart clone that is going to be coming to us courtesy of Ivanovich Games. And these guys have done a number of games. These guys did Beat Blaster. They did Operation Warcade. And this one is called Touring Karts. And so I'm going to turn up the volume on this Vader thing. And we're going to check out the trailer for Touring Karts. All right, well, that is Touring Karts, and goddamn, are they trying to be as Nintendo-esque as humanly possible with this thing. I mean, they got monkeys in the background, all kinds of things, trying to make it look as Mario Kart as humanly possible. You can obviously tell that this is coming to PlayStation VR. It is also coming to the HTC Vive, the Oculus Rift, Windows Mixed Reality. We're not sure if this is going to come to the Oculus Quest or not, or the Oculus Go, but it does seem to be coming to just about every other VR platform under the sun, and this apparently is going to be a fourth quarter release. So this will be headed to us in the fourth quarter. I don't know. It looks okay. If this is like a cheapo $10 game, I could see it. You know, I could definitely see it. Hopefully this will be relatively cheap. It could be fun. Racing around these tracks, the nighttime tracks, the rain, the different kinds of power-ups and things, especially if there's a good online community and there's a lot of people playing. This is also going to be available in like flat mode, like non-VR mode as well. So anyway, that is Touring Karts, and that's the VR edition by Ivanovich Games. Okay, in other news, why don't we go ahead and bounce over to our webinar. And hold on a second, let me get this up and running here. Okay, so Stay Silent, it is available. I think yesterday when I was talking about this game, there was still like another hour or whatever, or a couple of hours until it was going to become available. I didn't know what the price was going to be. And Stay Silent is $15. So it is out there in early access. There is only one user review, and it's kind of hard to trust a single user review. So we're not even going to worry about that. But yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. Haven't heard anybody really talking about this. but it could be a cool game. I'll probably try to reach out to them, see if somehow I might be able to get a review key for that, and then I could give you guys my impressions on it, but don't know too much about it. But it is out and it is available. So one of the things I was looking at, oh wait, actually I want to go to virtual reality games here. So I was looking at virtual reality games, and these are the games that have just released recently, and Stay Silent obviously is one of the brand new releases. But if we look at upcoming games, the games that are coming very soon, one thing that I noticed is this thing called Prana. And I clicked on this, and we got an actual date for this. So this is coming on Tuesday, June 25th. And this is kind of a weird thing. So let me explain what this is. Prana is a playful meditation experience that the user engages with their breath, employing physical breath to heal various creatures in their environment while learning to control their own breath and emotional state. So one of the things that we have seen in VR is we've seen a number of these like applications that are trying to get people into like meditation, relaxing. This looks weird. This looks interesting. And it's like teaching you how to like breathe at a certain pace. And like these animals are like herding and it's like almost like a freaking supernatural kind of thing. And you got to basically sit close to the animal and just breathe the right way. And you can kind of revive the animal. Such a weird idea. But the developer is Big Bright Monster. It is coming on Tuesday. And I grabbed the trailer for this. Why don't we just check out the trailer for a minute here? It does look kind of weird and unusual. Graphics actually look pretty good on this. Prana VR. So this will be coming on Tuesday. Let's see how this looks. Pretty weird, pretty trippy. Very weird, very trippy. I don't know, that scene right there where like the animals are like laying in the dirt there and you're like, you know, then and they're like pulsating and they got like weird stuff on them and everything. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Stranger Things. Like this is like the upside down world of Stranger Things. And you're basically in the upside, like look at that deer. That is like Stranger Things, dude. Look at that deer. It's like upside down world. It's like Stranger Things. You know, the Netflix show is about to come back this summer. And that's what I instantly thought of when I looked at this. But really quite weird. I mean, that is truly bizarre and very trippy. You know, you're looking at this like half dead moose that is laying on the ground. And if you breathe properly, you can bring that moose right back to life. And so it's like this controlled breathing. Slayblaze says, count me straight out of that shit. Come on, man. It's Stranger Things, brah. It's the upside down, topsy-turvy world where shit gets weird. Definite hard pass by Brandon. Brandon, you're telling me that this doesn't rank up there with Stormland and Asgard's Wrath? This isn't in your top 3, bro? You don't have this ranked higher than Boneworks? I do. No, I'm just kidding. No, anyway, I just thought it was kind of weird, and I saw a trailer for it, so I said, what the hell? Grab it. Why don't we go ahead and grab it? But anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys today, so not a lot going on. Let's see what some folks are talking about in chat. June 26 is a rumor date. I'm not sure what that's for. Pseudo Soul says, I've been breathing just fine for many, many years. Yeah, but if you want to meditate, you got to breathe in the right kind of way. I've never been able to like, meditation is a hard thing, man. I Am Rhett says hard pass. I am Ruts. I thought you'd be the type to want to meditate and to find your inner animal, so you can revive that moose and bring it back to life. Randomly pop in and see some gift from DeviantArt. What is going on? Game is beautiful, though. Yeah, no, this is just some weird game. It is called Prana VR, and it comes out on Tuesday, and this is basically just the end of the show. And Pseudo Soul says, nope, I ain't blowing no animals. Sorry, not gonna do it. Gaming in Still Life says Index next week. Anthony is welcome to come to Florida and hang out and try my Index. Yeah, don't think that's going to happen. Do not think I will be heading to Florida. Man, I hope somebody in Sacramento gets an Index, though, so I can possibly try that out. Now, Ray Delatorre says, Anthony, have you tried the Oculus Quest TV connection where you could see your gameplay on TV? I could have sworn this question was answered yesterday on Twitch, and I thought I answered this question, but I'll do it again. Or maybe it was the day before. Okay, here's the answer to that question. No, I have not seen any casting of any kind whatsoever. I need to get a Chromecast that does it. So I have not done that. No, I would like to do that. Ray Delatorre says, Anthony, you should do more reviews. I'd like to. It's kind of busy. I'm kind of busy. But I've got all kinds of video ideas that I want to do, like different kinds of video things. And one thing I was actually thinking about, and this is kind of off topic, and we're about to close out this episode, but it was something that popped into my mind. Like I started, and I'm not saying that I'm doing this, so don't worry about it. Like it isn't necessarily going to happen. But one thing I was thinking about is maybe Twitch, my Twitch channel would be all live stuff. Like that's where the live stuff is, Twitch. Like streaming this show and streaming gameplay. And then my YouTube channel would be for edited videos. For anything that's edited would be on the YouTube channel. It was something it's something I've thought about. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that until possibly like August 1st. So we're doing this little experiment right now where we're bouncing back and forth between Twitch and between YouTube. And we're going to try it for the rest of this month of June, for the entire month of July. And then we're going to reevaluate it. We're going to reevaluate at the very end of, at the beginning of August, we'll reevaluate and see what we're going to do. But anyway, that's going to do it for this particular program. And guys, I've got good news. Tomorrow, we've got an interview show. Shantomio is going to come on the show. Shantomio from Holland. He was on the show a long time ago, way before I was doing guests with actual video feeds. We were just doing these audio-only guests. And Shantomio came on the show a long time ago, was talking a lot about PlayStation VR, because mostly a PlayStation VR guy. Well, he ended up getting himself an Oculus Quest, and he's kind of fallen in love with his Oculus Quest. So tomorrow, we're going to be talking Oculus Quest. We're going to be talking PlayStation VR. Not a lot of PC VR. Sorry, folks. You're going to have to wait for Sunday for more PC VR discussion. That will be on Twitch on Sunday. But tomorrow, we're going to have an interview with Shantomio. We're going to be talking Quest, talking PlayStation VR. We might also talk to him about why doesn't he have PC VR? And when is he going to have PC VR? And what would tempt him to have PC VR? What does he think about all these upcoming PC VR headsets? What would he buy if he was going to go down that road? We can talk about that as well. But anyway, it'll be a fun interview show tomorrow at noon Pacific. So look forward to that, an interview with Shantomio. We're going to be talking a bit about Blood and Truth on PlayStation VR. We're also going to be talking about Trover Saves the Universe. So I want to actually maybe hop into both of those games before tomorrow's episode. I have been playing a little bit of Blood and Truth behind the scenes. I got past the part where I was stuck. I didn't know that Blood and Truth turns into the climb. Blood and Truth basically turns into the climb at a certain point. I had no idea. But yeah, I'm a little bit further in Blood and Truth. But we will be talking about some of that stuff tomorrow. Okay, my throat My throat is starting to die. I don't know what is going on, but I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy, and we'll see you guys then. Later.